for Adams. Cuts her way towards the near post, runs into a couple of Bowdoin defenders. Referee raises the arm. That's a foul. 1:05 into the game. Middlebury has their first free position opportunity and a chance to open the scoring in 2026. And it's Haley Hamilton to restart play. This is a prime shooting opportunity for the senior. She elects to give it off. Ackerman, ball popped in and out of the cross, and Bowdoin holds firm and immediately clears through Maya Imeda. Bowdoin returns a lot of their scoring from last season, and Imeda was a big part of that. And she'll be looking to anchor a Bowdoin attack that looks to improve upon a 6-9 campaign from a season ago, 2-8 in NESCAC play. A season they'd like to forget, but with so much youth on this roster, Imeda looks to be a mentor for all of the freshmen on this team, 8 in total of their 25. Aiming for a spot back in the NESCAC tournament. Spin shot. Bennett can't beat the goalkeeper, Elizabeth Savage, but the Polar Bears are first to the backup. Shot clock resets. Middlebury had the game's first attack. Bowdoin saw it through. And they have their first try. Emma McCann makes the interception. Bowdoin gives the ball away after the first shot on goal of this season. And the Panthers work through the middle of the field on the clear. Off to the far side, Caroline Messer across the restraining line. Messer on the charge. Shot bounces over the cage. Middlebury first to the end line, and Siobhan Colin resumes the Panther push. Adams straight away calls for motion. Inside the arc, lets it go and scores! It's the All-American Caroline Adams that opens the scoring for Middlebury in 2026. She had 48 of those a year ago. She is this team's leading returning scorer. And on a squad that lost a lot of their goals from a season ago, Adams will look to be the primary scorer on the attack, in addition to how good she's been on the draw control, and it feels fitting that she opens the scoring to begin the season. 1-0 Middlebury on top. And Adams immediately after scoring, she's back on the draw control, this time taking on Molly Reed. Or rather, Sydney Leonard. Adams wins out once again, and immediately after scoring the game's first goal, Adams wins out on the draw control. 128 draw control wins a season ago, and she's already got 2 within the first 3 minutes at Peter Cohn Field today. Middlebury goes topside. Hamilton lost her footing on her shot. And this will lead to a Middlebury free position. And once again, it's Haley Hamilton to resume play. Hannah Rubin in the Bowdoin cage, expecting a shot. She's got her stick up. Hamilton does just that, and it's 2-0 Middlebury. Hamilton provides the Panthers their first free position goal this season, and just like that, it's 2-0. This is exactly the start that head coach Kate Livesey envisioned to open up the year. Middlebury has dominated possession through the first 3.5 minutes, and they've turned their attacks into quick tallies. Adams and Leonard once again do the honors on the ensuing draw control. And Adams is 3 for 3. Immediately after scoring, Middlebury works the ball along the near sideline. Siobhan Colin cuts across the restraining line. Behind the goal line, Skylar Locke, one of the two co-captains on this team alongside Caroline Adams. She had a big role to play in their championship run a season ago. They played just one overtime game in 2025. She had the winner. Hamilton's got 2. Back-to-back Haley Hamilton goals have Middlebury off to a flying start. Just over 4 minutes in, the Panthers lead it 3-0. My apologies, it was Locke. The overtime hero from their national semifinal against Colby finds the back of the cage for the first time in 2025 or 2026. And just like that, Bowdoin calls timeout. In fact, the goal was Hamilton's. She's got 2, one from open play and one from a free position chance. We're not even 5 minutes in. The 4-time reigning national champions are playing like it, and they're asserting their dominance over Bowdoin. 3-0 the score. First quarter action resumes after this. Bowdoin had to use their first timeout to swell Middlebury's early momentum. Caroline Adams opened the scoring before Haley Hamilton added a pair. It's 3-0 Panthers, not even 5 minutes into the contest. 10:56 to go in the first quarter. Bowdoin searches for a response. And the first way they want to look for it is at the draw control. Grace Harvey is back. And she'll have a new opponent. Caroline Adams went 3 for 3 within the first 4 minutes and change in the opening period. But Middlebury turns to a new draw control out of the timeout. And it's Lucy Bishop, the defender. And she beats Harvey on the draw. Like Adams, Bishop was effective on draw controls last year, 73 to her name. And she expects to be the secondary draw control taker for the Panthers this year behind Adams. She made the USA Lacrosse All-American second team as a draw control specialist, Adams. So you'd expect that she would take the majority of opportunities throughout the year, and so far, she's perfect. Colin along the goal line. Behind the cage, her pass intercepted, but play stops for a foul. Middlebury will have a free position chance from beyond the cage. Check that. They move it just outside the fan. And Maeve Lee will restart play. Well, there are 2 balls on the field. Siobhan Colin will pick it up just outside the arc. And immediately fires in front. Maeve Lee goes bar down. A sweet feed off the free position sets up Lee to make it 4-0 Middlebury. Back-to-back Middlebury goals have gone assisted. Skylar Locke had the helper on Haley Hamilton's second. And now Siobhan Colin picks up her first point of the year, placing Maeve Lee right outside the crease. And a picture-perfect shot beats Rubin. A little over 5 minutes gone by in Middlebury. The Panthers look like they have not skipped a beat from their national championship a year ago. Talk about how good Middlebury has been as of recently. They've won 4 straight national titles. They've won the last 5 in which they've competed, having not played in 2021 due to COVID. And they've also appeared in the last 6 national championship games. It's not as though Bowdoin is without history. This is a program that's made the NCAA tournament 7 times under head coach Liz Grote, made it to the championship game in 2011. To this point, the only one in their history. Adams from just outside the fan. Sets up Lee, goes one-on-one against Harvey, spins beyond the goal line, looks for Hamilton. And 6 minutes into the first quarter, she's got a hat trick. Haley Hamilton has taken it upon herself to dominate this first quarter. Bowdoin has had no answers early on for the senior. 5-0 Middlebury. The fans lined up in front of the bleachers are loving what they're seeing from their Panthers. They're showing you exactly why they've got national championship expectations once again. Bowdoin's defense has just been a step slow against Middlebury. Birmingham got stuffed. Didn't have the best angle for a shot. Elizabeth Savage took the space away. 15 seconds left on the green card. Fabro drops it off. Play stops for a foul. Bowdoin will close out the woman up with a free position opportunity. The ball in Fabro's cross. She goes for goal. The shot is wide. Middlebury there to back it up. And the Panthers survive playing a woman down. Ackerman's green card has expired, and she's immediately made her way back to midfield. She'll check in just a few moments. Back to even strength. Middlebury races onto the attack through Caroline Messer. 6 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Middlebury has put Bowdoin to the sword early on with the benefit of a Haley Hamilton hat trick. Ackerman immediately back on the field following her green card. Adams fumbles the feed initially, has plenty of space to pick it up. And she's so tough to stop. Make it 2 tallies for Caroline Adams. She just swerved right through the Bowdoin defense to make it 6-0 Middlebury. Adams is just 1 goal away from matching Haley Hamilton's first quarter hat trick. Bowdoin has just been powerless to stop this Middlebury attack. They're just so good at reading the field, finding ways to use their passing to cut through the Polar Bear defenders. And they've got so many unencumbered looks on Rubin's cage. And from point blank, a team like Middlebury is not going to miss. Ahead of the draw control, the referees may have spotted something with Adams' stick. They're going to check the cross to make sure that was legal and play stops for a stick evaluation. And if the referees find fault with the cross, not only will this goal come off the board, but Adams will have to serve a penalty. She remains without her stick for the moment, conferencing with Bishop and Hamilton as the referees evaluate. You usually don't see this happen too often. Players immediately after they score have to drop their sticks for the referees to check. Normally that's a formality. They'll make sure that the cross is regulation and everything proceeds as normal. But something about Adams' cross caught the referee's eye. If this stands, it's her second of the game. And she's had an immediate impact for these Panthers. 1 goal to go along with 4 draw controls. Her second is up in the air. Adams has a smile on her face. I don't think she's too worried about what's going on right now. And here she comes off the field just to have a word with her head coach, Kate Livesey. We're still waiting on the verdict to see if this goal stands. For the moment, it's 6-0 Middlebury, 5:40 to go in the opening quarter, one which they've done very little wrong. Lucy Bishop and Sydney Leonard chop it up in the meantime. A couple of players that have seen quite a bit of each other throughout their college careers. 2 Seattle natives as well. Grew up playing together, and now they're matching up for 2 teams in the NESCAC. Both benches are looking right at the referees as they continue to check Adams' stick. And it looks like this goal will stand. Head coach Liz Grote just pointed something out, and the referees are going to take another look, and this cross is coming inside the press box. .540 remains in the first quarter. Caroline Adams' second goal of the season is still up for review following a stick evaluation. She's at midfield right now, awaiting to take the opening draw control as Coach Grote continues to protest. She clearly sees something wrong with the lining right at the edge of the cross. Now the referees are going to alert Coach Livesey as to what's going on. They're bringing out another stick, the Bowdoin staff, to prove what's wrong with Adams's. Bowdoin is adamant that this should be a stick violation. It's tough to make out exactly what Coach Grote is saying, but you can tell just how adamant she is that this goal should come off the board. And they continue to evaluate Adams' stick. I don't know if I've ever seen a stick evaluation take this much time, but Bowdoin is convinced that it is not regulation. That last bit I could easily make out. Coach Grote just said, "You've got to be kidding me." In her mind, this evaluation shouldn't take this long. The goal should have been wiped out already, and Bowdoin should play on the woman up. Meanwhile, the spirits have not dampened on the Middlebury bench. Siobhan Colin and Maeve Lee are just hopping around. Two players with points in this first quarter. Lee a goal, Colin an assist. Two sophomores that Coach Livesey expects to play a big role in their attack this season as they look for their fifth successive national championship and sixth straight in which they've competed. Just to clarify that comment, there was a stretch of a few years between 2019 and 2022 in which Middlebury were not national champions through no fault of their own. Obviously, COVID-19 wiped out the season in 2020, and then in 2021, the Panthers elected not to play because of the pandemic. Salisbury ended up winning that national championship, a team Middlebury defeated a couple years later in the third of their four straight national championships since. Adams is back on the field right now, still without a stick in hand, as she awaits the verdict. This is one of the warmer days of the month of February as it reaches its conclusion. Even so, at 40 degrees, the players on both sidelines are doing what they need to do to stay warm. Colin and Lee continue to hop up and down to keep their legs loose. A couple of Bowdoin players decked out in parkas doing the same over on the other sideline. On the field itself, both teams have broken things down into their position groups. They continue to huddle things up and talk things over while trying to stay warm themselves. Still a long way to go in this game, but Middlebury has the early edge. 5 of their 6 goals are guaranteed with 5:40 to go in the first quarter. The referees continue to evaluate Caroline Adams' stick following what would be her second goal of the game. One goal away from a hat trick. She's had her fingerprints all over this season opener, both with her scoring and her draw control. If the goal is to stand, 2 goals and 4 draw control wins on 4 chances. Still no signal yet. Whatever Coach Grote said to the officials, they're taken seriously. And as they continue to figure things out, the Bowdoin coaching staff calls their players in to put on their parkas and stay warm throughout this extended break. 5:40 to go in the first quarter. We'll have the verdict when we come back. You're watching Middlebury Women's Lacrosse on NSN. After a long and arduous review, Caroline Adams' goal stands. The referees rule her stick was legal. And Middlebury's lead is 6. 6-0, 5:40 to go in the first quarter. And after the referees took their time to make sure they get the call right, both teams are rewarded with a return to action. Immediately after scoring, Adams is back at work on the draw control against Leonard. And at long last, action is back underway at Peter Cone Field. Feels like both teams ran through the emotional gamut throughout that timeout. Both head coaches said their piece to the referees, and I think even now Coach Grote on the Bowdoin sideline is still displeased by the decision. And now she's got her hands full. Bishop helps out with Adams on the draw control win, and Middlebury, after the long review, is on the attack. Hamilton out in front. She scores. Make it 4 for Haley Hamilton in this first quarter. And after all that, Middlebury wastes no time after the layoff for goal number 7 in quarter number 1. Well, Adams is taking no chances. Lucy Bishop is on duty for the draw control, but Adams just changed out her stick. Perhaps that's still a point of contention on the Bowdoin sideline. But it hasn't mattered. Adams remains perfect on draw controls to open the contest. Bishop takes over to oppose Leonard. And on the duel between the two Seattle natives, Bishop wins out. The point of contention for the Bowdoin sideline was the stringing along the sidewall of Adams' cross. The Bowdoin coaches thought it extended out too long to give Adams an advantage. And in fact, Coach Grote pulled out another stick to show what she thinks a proper side stringing should look like. but it ends up not mattering. Adams' goal stood. Hamilton just added on with less than 5 to go in the first quarter. Hamilton's got 4, Adams 2 goals, and Middlebury is running rampant on this Bowdoin defense. Here come the Polar Bears on the clearance attempt. Georgia Bennett weaves through the Panther ride, and Christian Svan crosses the restraining line. Bowdoin still looking for their first goal of the game, and it will be their first goal of the 2026 campaign. They're still without a shot on target to this point, while Middlebury's attack has taken all the plaudits through the first 10 minutes and change today. The defense has held firm when Bowdoin had opportunities. Along the near side, Grace Shore. Inside the arc, lost the handle, and Jamie Patton-Martin right there to scoop it up. Middlebury causes the turnover on the defensive end, but immediately gives it back on the clearance attempt. Christian Svan right at the attacking line turns Middlebury over. And Bowdoin's right back on the ball for take 2 on this attack. Through the middle of the field, Ellie Fabro handles off the bounce. Here comes Bowdoin in the attacking area. Annie Birmingham. Caroline Messer right on her back. The Polar Bears forced to whip the ball around the arc. Along the near side, Shore. Lauren Jaricchio gets a stick in the way, and Bowdoin has to reset from up top. Haven't said her name a bunch today with the attack dictating the pace of play early on, but she's going to be a big part of the defense this year. From right out in front, Fabro denied. It looked like Savage got a piece of the shot. Bowdoin first to the clearance. Shot clock does not reset. It was off target. Out in front, Birmingham denied. Savage got low to deny the attempt. This will reset the shot clock, though. Birmingham unable to put it on, or put it past Savage, rather. But Bowdoin can recycle. And Maida whips it behind the cage. Shore leaves X. It's around the fan once again into the cross of Fabro. Under 2 to play in the first quarter. Bowdoin still searching for their first goal. They trail Middlebury 7-0 on the strength of a Haley Hamilton 4-goal quarter. And Caroline Adams has contributed 2 herself, one of which resulted in a lengthy stick review. The goal ultimately stood. Bowdoin tries to go top side. Middlebury cuts down the angle. Centering pass. Fabro scoops it up. Runs into a double team. And Messer leaves the attacking area. Referee stopped play for a foul. And Middlebury takes over. Bowdoin unable to beat Savage on an extended attack. It's their longest stretch of time in the attacking area in the first quarter. But this Middlebury defense has been tough for the Polar Bears to solve. 1:16 left in the first quarter. Middlebury can hold for the final shot of the period. And for the next minute, they'll do it on the woman up. Fabro's foul results in a green card. And Middlebury will play with the woman advantage for the first time this season. Adams mishandles the lock feed, but plenty of space to recover. To the near side, Ackerman looks for a passing lane. Along the goal line, Colin starts the reversal. Ackerman penetrates. A quick 1-2 with Libby Schiffman. Colin goes top side. Ackerman inside the arc. She scores! With under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, Middlebury capitalizes on the Bowdoin green card, and it's 8-0 Panthers. Ackerman opens her account in 2026. The junior finds twine as Middlebury's attack continues to hum. Bishop and Harvey go after it for what should be the final draw control of the first quarter. Bishop takes it, and Middlebury can formulate one final attack in quarter number one. Schiffman surrounded by black jerseys as she circles back towards midfield. Middlebury looking to escape the Bowdoin pressure in the neutral area. 3 seconds left in the quarter. Middlebury will just let the clock run down, and they've got an 8-0 lead through the first 15 minutes of the 2026 campaign. Haley Hamilton's 4-goal quarter has the Panthers off and running. Panthers lead by 8 as we head to the second quarter at Peter Cone Field. Their attack from the near side, Adams. Quick ball movement sees them recycle it back to the far side. Lee overran it momentarily, but recovers right ahead of the restraining line. Hamilton. Adams extends, throws it right back. Inside the crease, pass evades Locke. And Genua out of her cage on the backup. Bowdoin takes over on a rare Middlebury turnover. On the first attack of the second quarter, the change in goal works for Bowdoin. It was Genua's heads-up play that gave Bowdoin their first taste of the ball, but on the clear, they can't beat the Middlebury ride. In races Sophia Lee. Middlebury back to work through Colin. Lee double-teamed as she exits the arc. Alexa McCormick on her back to force Middlebury behind the cage. Adams searches for space. Nothing doing through the middle. Feeds Colin, spins to her backhand to tee up Ackerman. She plays catch with Alexandra Walker as Middlebury works it back to the far side. Delayed penalty upcoming against Bowdoin. And the referees stop play immediately. And that'll be a green card on Fabro. Or at least she thought so. She immediately started sprinting off the field. She thought she was going to have to sit. But instead of a green card, it's just a free position for Middlebury. And it'll be Lee to trigger play back on. She races in on goal, and Genua gets her stick down to make the point-blank save. Off the free position, Middlebury stonewalled. Bowdoin lost out in midfield, but they complete the clearance as Harvey races across the restraining line. What a save from Genua. And we'll see if that sparks Bowdoin's first successful attack as they search for their first goal of the game, their first of the season. Out in front, Birmingham bobbled the pass, and Savage scoops it up. Nearly miscommunication. She just left it on the floor for Jaricchio to pick up, and Maida was circling around as well. Errant pass. Patton Martin picks it up on the run. Ran into Birmingham, and that slows her down momentarily. But Middlebury weaves through traffic along the near side. It's Macy Sweeney who propels Middlebury into the attacking area. A little over 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Middlebury held scoreless so far, but their 8 first-quarter goals have them off and running. Haley Hamilton from right in front of the cage can't get a shot on target. Bowdoin backs it up, and once again, Middlebury comes away empty-handed. So far, the move to Genoa has paid dividends for Bowdoin. A backup and a point-blank save have kept Middlebury's offense guessing in the second quarter. Shore centering pass for Birmingham. They score! Bowdoin is on the board in the new campaign, and it's Annie Birmingham to finally lift the lid on the Middlebury cage. Perfect execution in transition. And Bowdoin, it's got to feel really good about finally just seeing one go in. They still got a hill to climb, but a comeback bid just has to get its start somehow. For Birmingham, she's coming off a 4-goal campaign from a season ago. And perhaps this will spark her offensive output in her junior season. Middlebury off the draw, control win, looks to neutralize it immediately. Katie Athanasoulis chases Hamilton back towards the restraining line. Middlebury forced to slow down. At the point, Adams. Middlebury whips it around the arc. It's Shore behind the cage. Locke weaves a stick check. Middlebury in and out of X with Colin. Colin opens up, weaves through a double team. What a goal! Siobhan Colin navigated through a phone booth in front of the crease, and the low finish puts it past Genoa to restore Middlebury's lead at 8. Colin, who appeared in just 10 games last season, scored 4 times. She's already got 2 points today. Talking to Coach Livset before this game, she singled Colin out as a player who's expected to step up, and all the traits that she described, she showed off on that last play. Quick and dynamic. Well, I don't think there's a better example than that. She changed her body shape to just slip through that Bowdoin double team, and it opened up a lot of space for her to pick her spot. Adams and Fisher combined for another draw control win. Middlebury pushes up the field in search of double digits. Just over 20 minutes gone by at Peter Cone Field. Middlebury holds up their attack to get new personnel onto the field. Schiffman strip. Runs it down with Kate Min on her back. But Schiffman wins out. Ball pops in and out of Ackerman's crease through a trio of Bowdoin defenders. She comes away with the ball. Colin off her first goal this season. Schiffman misplays the pass. Skylar Locke there to back it up. Middlebury circles in front of the cage. Locke can't find a way to put it home. And Schiffman keeps the move alive. Locke once again goes high, but skies it over the crossbar. Colin there on the backup. And the Middlebury attack continues. Shot clock does not reset, but still plenty of time to get a good look. Pass behind the goal line, intercepted. Courtney McKenna had the initial read, but the ball evaded her grasp momentarily to slow play down. Bowdoin will look to start their clear through the new goaltender, Genua. Stretch pass immediately off the bench. Fabro hunts it down and races along the near sideline into the attacking area. Weaves herself away from McCann. Shore through a double team. Nearly at the midway point of the second quarter, Bowdoin has played Middlebury equally, just one goal apiece. But that 8-goal Panther first quarter looms large as Bowdoin formulates their comeback bid. Out in front, Harvey puts it home. The feed led her right in front of the crease. And it's 9-2. As for Birmingham, she's starting to heat up. A goal and an assist in the quarter. Bowdoin's attack has shown signs of life with halftime on the horizon. The two squads have traded tallies in this quarter. And following that slow start, Bowdoin has found their footing. Immediately after scoring, Bowdoin wins out on the draw control. That's their first of the game. And McCormick protects the ball through Middlebury's sea of stick checkers. Bowdoin has an opportunity to score back-to-back goals for the first time and ask questions of this Middlebury defense. Birmingham twirls behind the goal line. No angle for Shore to go top side. Ball's free. Shore collects off the deflection. It hit off her own teammate, Jessie Ward, before she scooped it back up. Ameda switches the point of attack. Middlebury right there on the interception through Sophia Lee, and she's on the charge to complete a solo clear. In transition, here come the Panthers. Coach Livesey gets their attacking unit onto the field. Two goal scorers take their spots on the attack. Maeve Lee and Maddie Ackerman both potted their first goals of the season in the first quarter. We're a little over 6 minutes from halftime at Peter Cone Field. Middlebury searching for double digits before the break. Hamilton looks for Lee out in front. It deflects back to her. In front of the crease. Genua stonewalls her. Hamilton tried to go high, but Genua got the stick up to deny Hamilton her 5th goal of the game. Coming in cold at the start of the second quarter, Genua has stepped up for Bowdoin to anchor their strong play in the second period. Ameda spins away from a stick check. Looks to throw a pass across the crease. Birmingham and Ghislandi went after it, and the latter wins out. Middlebury causes a turnover. Bowdoin's a squad that historically looks to push the pace and pressure you on the ride, and it looks like they've gone back to that in the second quarter, and it's helped them find their way into the game. Savage turns it over, looking for Dottie Ghislandi. Going after the loose ball, Middlebury picks up a green card. That'll go against Caroline Messer. And Bowdoin will play woman up for the second time today. They had one opportunity in the first quarter on the Ackerman green card, but nothing doing against the Middlebury defense. And just like that, the Polar Bears turn it over 15 seconds into the penalty. Under 4:30 to go until halftime. Middlebury was in complete control through the first quarter, but Bowdoin has outplayed them in the second, 2-1, their first 2 of the game. But Middlebury still sports a 7-goal edge, and they can add on to it, playing woman down. "15 seconds remain on the green card. Caroline Messer waits her turn as she looks for a repeat on the last Middlebury woman down. The penalty expires, and we're back to even strength. Colin drops it off Maeve Lee. The two Lees exchange feeds, Sophia and Maeve. Colin surrounded. Throws across the fan. Adams scoops it up, lost out. And there's Ward to cause the turnover. She races through the middle of the park on the ride. And with Messer on her back, she's across the restraining line. Playing top side, Birmingham circles back. Fabro in the middle of the arc. And Dottie Ghislandi there to scoop up the loose ball. It's Middlebury's turn to attack the open space. Hamilton breezes past Motz. Her pass tipped. She wanted Adams. But McKenna comes away with it with less than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. This game has turned end to end with halftime approaching at Peter Cone Field. The defenses have tightened up, but Middlebury's first quarter attack still has them up 7. Harvey waits for the play to develop in front of her. Georgia Bennett, one of many Bowdoin players making their collegiate debut today. She did so as a starter. Centering pass, Birmingham can't handle it. It's a race to the sideline, but Tate Ryan can't save it. Middlebury's on the move with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. They've been stuck on 9. Just 1 goal in the second quarter. That Colin's first of the season, and they haven't been able to add on to it since. Cycling around the fan, it's Haley Hamilton. Straight away, Adams. Maeve Lee penetrates the Bowdoin defense, forced behind the cage. Locke skies it for Ackerman. 1:08 left in the second quarter. Middlebury still searching for a way past this stout Bowdoin defense. They're packing the space around the cage. Colin turns it over just in front of the end line. Less than a minute to go in the second quarter. Bowdoin can play for the final shot. Can Bowdoin pick up one final goal before the half? They've already outscored Middlebury in the period 2-1. What a momentum boost it would be for the Polar Bears as they open the season against the 4-time defending national champions. Leonard lost out inside the fan. Jamie Patton-Martin first to the ground ball. Middlebury races to beat the clock. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Here comes Skylar Locke. Lost out. Navigating through 2 Bowdoin defenders. They just clear it out towards midfield, and that'll do it for the first half at Peter Cone Field. Bowdoin righted the ship in the second quarter, but Middlebury's first quarter barrage has them up 7, 30 minutes. Of the third quarter at Peter Cone Field. Middlebury raced out to an 8-0 lead at the end of the first, but Bowdoin figured things out throughout the second. They outscored the Panthers 2-1 in the frame as they mount their comeback on opening day. Welcome back to this broadcast of Middlebury Women's Lacrosse on Northeast Sports Network. Ryan Zimmerman with you as we head deeper into the afternoon in Middlebury, Vermont. The four-time reigning national champions hope to get off on the right foot in 2026 as they open their drive for 5. Adams beats Harvey on the draw control, and it's Middlebury ball to open up the second half. We'll see what adjustments both teams make. One that Bowdoin did between the first and second quarter was turn up the heat during Middlebury's attack time. They were quick to throw double teams at Middlebury ball handlers, and it looked to throw their offense a little out of sync, and they didn't have as many point-blank opportunities in the second like they did in the first. 32 seconds into the third quarter, Middlebury picks up a green card. It's illegal use of the stick that puts Haley Hamilton in the sin bin for a minute, and Bowdoin goes on the woman up. If there's any time for the Polar Bears to continue their charge, here it is. Tate Ryan along the fan. Off to the far side, Shore. Lucy Bishop closes Birmingham down at X. And Bowdoin forced to throw it around the fan. And Maida backs up. Bennett looks for space. Sweeney continues to stay in front of her. 10 seconds left on the Hamilton green card, but still plenty of time on the shot clock. Out in front, the pass evades Ryan, but Fabro there on the backup. The green card expires, but Bowdoin maintains their attack for the moment. Bowdoin still searching for their first woman-up goal today. They had a golden opportunity to cut the Middlebury lead to 6 early on in the third quarter. But they'll have to continue their attack at even strength. 10 on the shot clock. Ball pops free outside the fan. Sophia Lee there to scoop it up and maneuver past 2. And she's off and running along the far sideline as she finishes off the clear herself. Middlebury holds firm to deny Bowdoin a goal during the Haley Hamilton green card. And the Panthers can formulate their attack to open up the scoring in the second half. Caroline Adams calls for motion. Hamilton's there behind the cage to play it. McKenna put a stick into her back as she changed the point of attack. Lock denied topside. Maeve Lee pump fakes on the shot and looks for Adams. Centering pass across the crease. Parker Hansen unable to control it. Grace Harvey there to cause the turnover. Once again, Bowdoin's defensive adjustments have stifled Middlebury. They used the center of the arc to a T in the first quarter, but since then, just one goal. Bowdoin's defense has answered the bell to stifle Middlebury as of late. Birmingham circles the wagons. At the point, Harvey, one of 2 Bowdoin goal scorers today. And there's the other, Birmingham. Bowdoin content to use the entirety of the shot clock. They nearly had a shot clock violation on their last attack, but no need this time. Tate Ryan goes low on Savage. Bowdoin is back within 6. I made a set up Ryan right in front of the crease. That's how Bowdoin has scored their goals today. Just give your attacker a one-on-one look against Savage and pick your spot. Ryan opens her account on the year following a 3-goal first-year campaign. You have to think, even with Middlebury up by 6, Bowdoin is the happier of the 2 teams as of late. That first quarter is looking more and more like a fluke for Bowdoin, and that's exactly what Coach Grote and her staff wants to see. Adams secures another draw control for Middlebury. And she's headed right off the field to change out her stick as Middlebury goes on the attack. They've been outscored 3-1 since the start of the second quarter. Bowdoin has tightened the screws defensively and taken the space away in the middle of the field. And Middlebury's attack has stalled out as a result. A little over 4 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Tate Ryan opened the scoring in the second half. But still, Bowdoin is looking up at a 6-goal deficit. Maeve Lee turns it over. Courtney McKenna, or rather Jesse Ward, dashes through the middle of the field as Bowdoin finishes out the clear. She spins away from a double team. Out in front of the cage, Imeda goes 5-hole. Maya Imeda in the midst of a 2-point quarter. Don't count these Bowdoin Polar Bears out. Still plenty of time to play. And they've lowered the deficit to 5. It's 9-4 Middlebury. Timeout Middlebury. Bowdoin has come out and played with a purpose in this third quarter. And head coach Kate Livesey has to rally the troops and calm her Panthers down. 9-4 Middlebury on top, but Bowdoin is on the move early on in the third quarter. Bowdoin has looked rejuvenated since the start of the second quarter. They're in the midst of a 4-1 stretch since then. And it started to force this Middlebury squad to worry. Head coach Kate Livesey just used a timeout following Maya Aimeda's goal. That makes it a 9-4 game. This is becoming more and more competitive on opening day as we speak. Middlebury got off to the perfect start in the first 8 goals past Hannah Rubin. And since then, Bowdoin swapped out goalkeepers. Alexa Genua checked into the cage. And Bowdoin, since then, has looked a lot more confidence on the defensive side, and they've turned that into goals. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and they're within striking distance. We'll see what Middlebury has to say about it as they run their attack through Libby Schiffman. Behind the cage, Locke. Min right on her back. Middlebury forced out beyond the fan. Schiffman throws it over Colin's stick. And Middlebury once again hands the ball right back. Genua searches for the stretch pass. Referee stops play. Genua put that right on the money. Ward caught it in stride. But the shot clock never reset. It shows 89 seconds. The referee spotted it, and that's why they halted play. They've since corrected it. It shows 80, and now Bowdoin can continue their clear. Ward races through 2. Middlebury challenges. And Bowdoin is on the attack. They've had all the momentum since the start of the second quarter, and they can keep it going in the midst of a 4-1 run over the last 21 minutes. Ward lost the handle right in front of the crease. It's still free, and Savage mercifully picks it up and stifles the Bowdoin attack. Along the near sideline, Emma McCann runs into trouble, has to drop it off. Jamie Patton-Martin knocked it down with her chest and backs up into her own fan to recollect and settle things down. Bowdoin's aggression on the ride has caused Middlebury some trouble, but Caroline Messer completes the clear. Middlebury able to figure things out and run their attack. Nearly halfway through quarter number 3, Middlebury has been shut out in the second half. They can change that here with Adams on the prowl. Ackerman circles back. Quick passing sees it into the cross of Locke. Colin goes top side, and she's stuffed inside the arc. Katie Athanasoulis pokes it free, and once again, Bowdoin's defense right in front of their own cage forces a Middlebury turnover. That was their happy zone in the first quarter. A large portion of their 8 goals came from point-blank range, but since then, Bowdoin has swallowed up the middle of the field on Middlebury attacks, and the Panthers haven't made the adjustment. Ball pops off the stick of Ryan, loading up for her shot. And a foul trying to regain possession allows Middlebury to restart through Macy Sweeney. For a team chock full of national champions, Middlebury just graduated a class in which they won it all every single year. As they go for their 5th in a row, they'll have to rely on a lot of youth, and Sweeney is a big part of that. She was an anchor in their defense as a first year for their national championship last year. And even though she doesn't have too much college experience, she'll be relied upon heavily again as a sophomore. Speaking of sophomores, here's Siobhan Colin. Generates space off a spin move. Maeve Lee wanted to shoot, but Hamilton went down, and Middlebury will take a free position instead. It's Lee from outside the arc to restart play. Can Middlebury finally break into double figures? Something that's evaded them since the second quarter. It's Lee, and she fires high. Middlebury's there on the backup, and they'll go back to work with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Maeve Lee once more. Adams lost down in the midst of a double team. Tried to push Hamilton just outside the crease, but Kate Motz makes the vital intervention. And once again, Bowdoin has space to clear. The stretch pass a little out of range of Fabro, and the Middlebury ride generates a turnover. If Bowdoin's offense is to continue working the way they have, that's something they've got to clean up. Alexa Genua has turned to the stretch pass quite a few times in the midst of Bowdoin clears. And for the most part, she's been on target. That's just a rare misfire. Colin out in front. Genua kicks it aside. Rebound still free. A couple of bodies circumvent it. It takes a deflection, and Min controls the ground ball with nobody around. Under 5 to go in the third quarter. Still plenty of time left ahead of the final period, but Middlebury is in danger of being shut out in the frame. Grace Harvey. She drew a lot of attention, swerving in and out of the arc. But Bowdoin will play through Bennett instead. Middlebury clogs the middle of the field. They have to back it up. Does Bowdoin through Sydney Leonard. Double team behind the cage. Aimeda finds her way top side. Cross crease. Pass! Leonard can't get her shot on target. Bowdoin's there on the backup, but the shot clock continues to wind. 25 seconds remain. McCann shoves Ryan outside the fan. Leonard out in front. Savage denies her. Looked like that ball hit off her leg. But the junior netminder made herself big. And Middlebury's lead remains 5. Haven't said her name too much today. Elizabeth Savage, that just her second save. But she's been a hero in Middlebury lore as of late. For the majority of her sophomore season a year ago, she served as the backup to Gina Driscoll. But she took over between the pipes come tournament time, and she backstopped the Panthers to their 4th straight championship, making the NCAA all-tournament team in the process. And coming into 2026, it's her cage, and her starting spot is undisputed. Adams handles the ground ball with 2:35 to go in the third. Middlebury still searching for answers on offense since their 8-goal first quarter. They've scored just one since, and it's given Bowdoin a pathway back into the game. Out in front, Locke goes low, but Genua's there to meet it. She just looked to backhand it through the 5-hole, but the first-year Genua keeps the captain off the board. She has 2 assists today, still in search of her first goal, thanks to that fine point-blank save. Centering pass out in front. Harvey unable to get a shot on frame. Shore there on the backup. Still plenty of time on the Bowdoin attack. For an offense as good as Middlebury's last season, 340 goals. Averaging over 15 a game. It's not often they get shut out in a quarter. But Bowdoin just 95 seconds away from doing just that in the 2026 season and conference opener. Leonard saves the out of bounds. But Locke drops into the neutral zone to corral the ground ball, and Middlebury's got plenty of space to work with through Caroline Messer. Ackerman maintains possession through contact. Back to X. It's Colin. Adams sidesteps her way out in center. McKenna takes away a topside look. Walker was open right in front of the crease. Pass just a little too hot. But Middlebury keeps it in the attacking area with less than 45 seconds to go in the third. Bowdoin collapses on the middle. Forces Middlebury to play around the arc. Walker has it pop out of the cross. Referees say it's due to a Bowdoin foul. And the Panthers will take a free position with 30 seconds left in the quarter. Could this be what breaks up a third period shutout? Walker will restart play on the referee's signal. She goes for the free position shot. And finally, Middlebury finds the back of the cage. Alexandra Walker beats Genua with the bounce shot. And the Panthers have finally hit double digits. Bowdoin had nearly played the perfect third quarter defensively. But Middlebury's just so good on free position chances and on a team full of snipers. It's Walker who steps up and puts it home. Nearly a third of Middlebury's goals last season came from free position chances. 104 of their 340. And free position opportunities have led to offense today. "16 seconds left in the third quarter. Bowdoin plays for the final shot off the draw control. Ward, no angle for a shot. Bowdoin will just take possession into the final period. Once again, Bowdoin outscores Middlebury in the third quarter, but the Panthers still comfortably lead it with 15 minutes to play on opening day. It's Middlebury 10, Bowdoin 4 here at Peter Cone Field. as we get set for fourth quarter action at Peter Cone Field. Middlebury makes a change in the cage. Elizabeth Savage checks out, and Annie Spring, the first year, makes her collegiate debut on opening day. Middlebury's got the lead, but Bowdoin has been the better of the two teams in the middle 30 minutes. 10-4, Panthers on top. Bowdoin opens the fourth in possession, having closed out the third quarter in the attacking area. Ellie Fabro waits for both teams to send their players onto the fields to get the final quarter started here in Middlebury. And off we go. Bowdoin has to play with a sense of urgency on offense if they want to make up the deficit, as well as their defense has played throughout the middle 30 minutes. Middlebury hasn't skipped a beat either. They've held Bowdoin to just 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third after shutting them out in the first. Shore opens up. Backpedals outside the fan. Shot clock under 30 for Bowdoin on their first attack of the fourth. Ward feels a shove but hangs on. Under 20 on the shot clock. Bowdoin's got to move. And it's Grace Harvey. Spins her way to the arc. 5 seconds to shoot. Armeda tries the backhand, but it's way off target. Spring was there on the backup, but it's a shot clock violation anyways on Bowdoin to open the final frame. There's an issue with the clock. It should have stopped. Now the referees caught the mistake, and Annie Spring can spearhead the Middlebury clear. What a moment for the first year. A standout player at Noble and Greenup School in the NEPSAC. And perhaps this is an audition to become the primary backup behind Elizabeth Savage this year. The all-tournament teamer from a season ago put up a strong showing in Game 1, albeit in limited opportunities. And her reward is a fourth quarter off in a game that Middlebury expects to see through. Their offense has been stifled as of late. 1 goal each in the second and third quarters. But Alexandra Walker did score on the final shot of the third on a free position try to give Middlebury a little more confidence heading into the final 15 minutes. Maeve Lee. Middlebury changes the point of attack through Caroline Adams as the shot clock drops below 30. Ball trickles out of play. And that goes as a Middlebury turnover. After Middlebury potted 8 goals in the first quarter, Haley Hamilton responsible for 4 of those. It's been a rock fight since. Just 6 goals in the middle 30 minutes. Both the second and third quarters finished 2-1 in favor of Bowdoin. But Middlebury slowed the game down, and their defense took over after their offense led the way early on. Give Bowdoin a lot of credit. They stifled Middlebury in that sense as well. But the scoring has been too few and far between with that 8-goal deficit straight away. Jamie Patton-Martin gets shoved on the clearance attempt, and the referees say it's out of bounds off Middlebury. Bowdoin, the cause, turnover, nets them an extra offensive series. Middlebury's bench none too pleased with that call. But their cries fall on deaf ears. Bowdoin gets another crack on the attack. Maya Almeida at X. Topside look. Favreau denied. Annie Spring comes up with her first collegiate save. Centering pass. Shore just a little behind it. And Harvey chases it down. Shot clock resets to 60 for Bowdoin as they continue their attack 4 minutes into the fourth. Birmingham circles around, locates Grace Harvey. Behind the goal line, Imeda double teamed. Juricchio in the area to force a turnover. And Middlebury, despite Bowdoin having plenty of chances on that last attack, comes up with a turnover. A little over 10 to play on opening day. The four-time reigning national champions 0 in on a season-opening win. And not only would that make them 1-0 on the year, but they start things off with an SCAC win. Even though they won the national championship this past season, they stumbled in the SCAC tournament. They dropped the semifinal to the number 6 seed Wesleyan ahead of the NCAA tournament. They found a way to recover and rattled off 5 straight wins en route to their 4th straight and 11th in program history. But in that stretch of those 4 straight national championships, they've only won an SCAC twice. Both of their losses in that span were in the tournament, the semis last year, and the finals to Tufts in 2022. Feels weird to say that the national champions aren't the conference champions, but one does not preclude the other. And Middlebury's proven that. Even if you don't take your conference crown, doesn't slow your momentum down. Hamilton spins away from 3 Bowdoin players. Her drop pass escapes the attacking area, but Caroline Messer chases it down. Middlebury's going to take a shot clock violation, though. Nothing doing in the Panther attack, but they do take 90 seconds off the clock, under 9 to play at Peter Cone Field, as Middlebury looks to lock down win number 1 on the new campaign. Genua skies the pass along the near sideline. Athanasoulis was the closest to it as Middlebury's pressure on the ride leads to a giveaway. And here they come on the attack through Adams. She flings it a little too far outside the path of Maeve Lee. Hit off the side wall of the cross. And it keeps the Middlebury attack alive. Adams searches for space. She's looking for a hat trick. Alexandra Walker out in front. Genua comes up with another point-blank save. She's been Bowdoin's savior in the cage today. And the game has stayed competitive. Ward fumbles the feed. Ryan tried to play her right towards the near post, but just a little too much mustard on it. Middlebury has a chance to clear. Spring circles the cage as she surveys her options. Clock stops for a Middlebury timeout. Just past the halfway point of quarter number 4, Middlebury is 7 minutes and 18 seconds away from an opening day win at home. Head coach Kate Livesey just used a timeout to reorganize the Middlebury clear. This is a teachable moment on opening day. The Panthers lead the Bowdoin Polar Bears by 6, 10-4. 7:18 to go in game one of the season. The Panthers, the four-time defending Division III national champions, can start off the year with a win in NESCAC play. The sun is starting to shine on the surface of Peter Cone Field, and even with snowbanks surrounding the turf, signs of spring are showing up in northwest Vermont. Field conditions have been great today. Not a single flake of snow on the pitch, and both teams have benefited from a clean playing surface. We've seen a cleanly played game to this point. Hamilton, the first quarter hero, 4 goals for the senior. She helped Middlebury get off to that 8-0 start in the first quarter. The Panthers needed every bit of that, with Bowdoin finding their way into the game in the second quarter. They've outscored Middlebury 4-2 since. But we'll see if Sophia Lee has anything to say about it. Adams out in front, scopes Hamilton. Genua will not be denied. Hamilton couldn't get it on frame. Genua didn't give her much to shoot at anyways. Middlebury there on the backup, less than 30 seconds on the shot clock. Sophia Lee floats Hamilton as they try the near side. Adams a centering pass out of the reach of Hamilton. Bowdoin there to scoop up the ground ball. The Polar Bears cause a turnover, and they've got space to clear through Mia Imeda. Annie Birmingham on the sprint. Tries from the near post. It's an easy save for Spring. We're at that point in the game where Middlebury can play time and score. With under 6 minutes to go, perhaps putting a shot on goal isn't the main objective, more so just running down the clock. Messer draws a foul on the clear. And Imeda heads off the field for a green card. She'll sit for a minute. Middlebury goes on the woman up, and the comeback becomes much trickier for Bowdoin. Messer completes the clear with a floated pass. Ackerman across the restraining line, and Middlebury can slow things down. Under 5:30 to go. Middlebury up by 6. Adams with a head of steam around a pair of picks. She's been stuck on 2 goals since the first quarter, the second of which resulted in a lengthy stick evaluation display, which ultimately saw her goal stand. 22 seconds left on the Imeda green card. Middlebury turned it over in the attacking area. Bowdoin on the attack on the woman down. 10 seconds left on the Imeda green card. Bowdoin's offense has to be efficient as they return to even strength. Imeda right back in her spot on the attack after serving her minute penalty. Things have to happen fast if Bowdoin is to make what at this stage would be an improbable comeback. Centering pass, underhanded shot. Harvey finds Twine. She's got her second of the game, and that might be the prettiest of the day. Bowdoin decreases the deficit to 5. It's 10-5 Middlebury. What a momentum shifter for Bowdoin. They see through the Imeda green card, and on their very next attack, Harvey gives them a sign of life. 4:14 to go in the game. If Middlebury picks up a draw control win here, it could just be curtains for Bowdoin. All things considered, Middlebury put forth an outstanding defensive effort, and their 8-goal first quarter leads the way for their offense. Coach Livesey is learning a lot about her young squad today. They've had plenty of contributions from underclassmen players. However, their seniors have carried the way. Caroline Adams just picked up another draw control win, her 8th of the game, to go along with her 2 goals. And Haley Hamilton, 4 in the first quarter in the first game of her final season. Adams still in search of the opening day hat trick. She just continues to add to her gaudy stats across her Middlebury career. 8 draw controls today. She came into this season as Middlebury's career leader in draw controls at 349. The opening draw today was number 350. And her presence on the attack draws a Bowdoin green card. That'll go against Sydney Leonard. The referee finally shows the card. Leonard was a little confused at first. She thought initially that would just be free position, and she stopped on her way to the sin bin. But now she takes a seat for a minute. Middlebury can play on the woman up as they wind down the clock, a fresh 90-second shot clock as well. But to finish the point on Adams, she's the single game and career leader in Middlebury history in draw controls. And she has one last chance to set the single season program record, the only one of the 3 she doesn't currently hold. Skylar Locke's backup keeps the attack alive for Middlebury. She's been held without a goal today, but not quiet on the score sheet. 2 assists to her tally. 23 seconds left on the Leonard green card. Adams for the hat trick. There it is. Caroline Adams finds her way past Genua. And another Middlebury player gets their 3rd. That should all but do it. The lead back up to 6 for the Panthers, 11-5. She's been a tone setter all game long with her ability to win on draws, and the offense has followed. 48 tallies a season ago, 67 points makes her the team's leading returning scorer. And she might just be on pace to break it if Game 1 of 2026 is any indication. Harvey beats her on the draw and immediately forces Haley Hamilton to have to sit. She's off the field with a green card. Harvey does her job, and she gets a chance to swap out sticks. Bowdoin with 2:18 to go in the game. One last chance to beat Annie Spring and take some momentum into their home opener in just less than 24 hours when they take on non-conference opponent Roger Williams. Under 2 minutes to go. Bowdoin perhaps one last woman-up chance. Middlebury isn't in need of too much momentum, but they'll take an opening day win on the road as they go into their non-conference opener on March 3rd. They don't have too far to travel, just to Saratoga Springs for a date with Skidmore. Less than 90 to play at Peter Cone Field. Shore at X. Bishop Shepherds are outside the fan as Bowdoin recollects from the point. The Hamilton green card is over. Middlebury can play out the remainder of Bowdoin's attack at even strength, but it doesn't matter. Grace Shore finds her way into the side netting. Her first career goal may just wrap up what's been an impressive 30-minute stretch for Bowdoin. 11-6, Middlebury has the lead, but Bowdoin can go out on a high. The first year has played a big role in their attack today, a goal and an assist in her collegiate debut. Head coach Liz Grote has to be happy with what the Rockport, Maine native provided. The only home state kid outside of Mara Muse, but the only one to play today. A minute 4 left in the game. Middlebury has this one on lock. But they'll have to finish this one out by causing a turnover. There was a scramble at the Bowdoin restraining line. The Polar Bears came away with the ground ball. 50 seconds left in the contest. Bowdoin's back on the rush through Fabro. Leaves it a little too far behind Imeda. And a Bowdoin turnover may just do it. All Middlebury has to do is clear, and they've got their opening day win. Through the middle of the field, Macy Sweeney crosses the restraining line. Middlebury will still attack, though. Adams, the underhanded look, can't feed it through traffic. Second try. Genua there to make the save. Bowdoin picks the ball up behind the cage, and that will do it. Middlebury defends home field. And the 4-time reigning Division III national champions open the 2026 season with a win. An 8-goal first quarter set the tone, and defense led him through the rest of the way. 11-6, they open the season with an SCAC victory over Bowdoin. They won't be back at home again for 10 days when they face St. Lawrence in non-conference action, but they've got a couple of big tests ahead of that. Skidmore and their first NESCAC road game at Connecticut College on March 3rd and 7th, respectively. But as mentioned, Bowdoin has a lot to be proud of with the way they played today. They held Middlebury to just 3 goals in the final 3 quarters, 1 each across the final 30 minutes, and they won't have to wait too long to open their win total in 2026. They play Roger Williams at home in their non-conference opener in just about 24 hours, a 2 p.m. opening draw in that game. That'll do it from Peter Cone Field one last time. Middlebury 11, Bowdoin 6. The 4-time reigning national champs open the year with the win. I'm Ryan Zimmerman signing off. This has been Middlebury Women's Lacrosse on NSN.